Hi, this is Timm Baxter, and I'm doing a little self-interview based on some questions that I asked some friends to give me. I guess the first thing I should say is that I am wearing a mask because I want to. There's no reason, I just wanted to. When did you start writing stories? Honestly can't remember. The first proof that I have of writing stories is my third grade teacher had us keep a journal, and some days she would give us assignments and some days we would just free write, and most of the time when we free wrote, I wrote stories based off of dreams. Not much has changed since the third grade. And so I was like 8. I started writing them, and of course they were only like a paragraph long and stuff. And people encouraged me. I mean, my teacher encouraged me, and my friends were like, "Oh, that's neat." And if no one had encouraged me, I probably would have done it anyway. When did you first know that you wanted to write professionally? Professionally is an interesting word. I don't know if that applies to anything art-based. I don't know, maybe I'm just perpetuating a myth of the artist as this like elusive butterfly. I don't know. Just for me, the word writing and professional don't belong together. But to answer the question, when I knew I wanted to be a writer, that if I could do whatever I wanted to in the world and not have to worry about money and not have to, worry about anything. I could just do what I wanted to do. And when I decided that that would be writing was actually in the third grade. But yeah, that's when I said, yeah, if I could do anything, this is what I'd like to do. How did I go about achieving that? I just wrote. And I was about 12 when I started trying to submit to publishing companies and had no idea that, you really needed an agent to even get through to a publisher, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I was trying. Who influences your writing? Be it other authors, friends, etc. The biggest influence on my writing are my dreams. I have sleep disorder, night terrors, which are a little different than nightmares. You can look it up. I don't want to get into it. But those are what influenced me the most. A close second is my husband. My husband is my best friend, my drill sergeant. I both can love and hate him deeply within the same breath. He influences me the most. What was your first big break in the publishing industry? Well, can I say I don't understand the question? The first time I was published was a short story in an anthology in '96, and I thought, oh gosh, it was wonderful. It was bliss. I didn't get paid anything for it. It was a contest, but to see my name in print was just euphoric. And now, I'm very, very happy to be with Jan Ray Frank and publishing through her company, and that's my big break, I guess. Whatever is the most recent publishing news is what is my big break, and I hope to just continue to be broken. No, that's not what I meant. Never mind, I'm going to edit that out. With the release of your new book, how many more are planned for the series? Shadows of Dawn is the first book in a planned series of 3. That, however, doesn't mean anything, because if there's not enough interest in Shadows of Dawn, there won't be any reason to go on with the series. And if there's a lot of interest, once the third book is done, more might come. That's what it's contracted to be, 3 books. But you never know. You gotta be fluid. That's goes back to the whole elusive artist crap. Are any other novels in development? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Aside from the series, the planned trilogy, I have 3 other books under contract, and I'm working on 2 others. And it goes from the Shadows of Dawn and the subsequent 2 books, which are vampires. One is kind of a religious fiction. Another is just straight horror, gratuitous violence. Just to see how gross I can get. Another one was a short story that just took on a life of its own. But I don't know what I can be specific about because of being under contract. So we'll just leave it at there. What sort of things motivate you when you write? I don't have an answer for that one either. What motivates me when I write? Well, when I write, what motivates me is the fact that I'm writing. I mean, if I can get into the flow where it's just coming out, then it just pushes me further and further and further. There are times when I can't really get the engine going on the writing, so I'll listen to music, and usually it's very emotional music, something that elicits something in me, and it's usually anger or violence, violent music. I'm trying not to name any specific names because I don't want to promote or demote anyone. But like heavy metal, hard rock, I don't even know the terms they use for music anymore. That's how out of touch I am. How hard was it to go through the editing process for your first book, and did it frustrate you? With Shadows of Dawn, the editing process was actually a wonderful experience. My editor, Rick, is just so much fun and such a joy. And even though he was pointing out all my flaws and mistakes, I really just sat back and laughed. And I was like, oh gosh, I can't believe I did that. And I like that. I like that he's correcting me with a sense of humor, because otherwise I might get mad. All artists are known to be a little ruffled by criticism. But Rick knows how to handle me. So, actually, I like it. I like getting criticism when handled properly, and when it's truly constructive and just not, badly disguised snark. Because if it's going to make me better at explaining the sick things in my head, I want to be able to do that. Which, as you can tell through this interview, I'm not doing very well at the moment. How many stories have you written that haven't been published? I can't even count them. I can't even count them. There's 40 flash fiction pieces that each one could develop into its own novel. But I think that's kind of like asking a visual artist, a painter, how many canvases they haven't gotten to work on yet, or that haven't been put in galleries. You don't know. The number to that is infinite. I will die with things not having been published. And if you really are a writer or an artist, a musician, you're going to leave things unfinished because you're always going to be working on stuff. What's some good advice for people wishing to get published? Write. Keep writing. Write. Read. Study your craft, and don't give up. The publishing industry has never been an easy thing to get into, and it's much more competitive now, and with the whole ebook thing and self-publishing, it's broadening the base for readership at a time when people don't seem to read much anymore. At least that's what we're all being told, that people don't read anymore. But if you want to write and you want to get published, you have to have product. You also have to know what the hell you're doing. If somebody tells you, look, you need to worry a bit more about your grammar than about your use of metaphor, pay attention to them. Don't get mad at them. There are a lot of people who are going to hate you and hate what you do no matter what it is. That's fine. They don't have to deal with you again. You don't have to deal with them again. But when someone is giving you advice, even if you didn't ask for it, at least pay attention to it. You know, you can weigh it. Well, maybe I don't want to go in this direction or that direction. When someone is telling you how to correctly spell there versus there, pay attention. You know, don't let your ego run away with you. And then I got some questions that are about things other than writing. Now that you're an older woman, and I remember who asked me this question, and I'm going to get you for saying that, do you ever get mean comments or looks made to you about your hair or tattoos? I don't get the comments as much. Of course I get the looks, and I mean, you can't, when you choose to look a specific way, you can't get mad at people for staring. I mean, that's just stupid. You don't alter your appearance so that you're basically going, look at me, and then go, why are you looking at me? Go away. That's ridiculous. People have their opinions. Oh, your hair's ugly. Oh, what a crappy tattoo. Yep, that's why it's on me and not on you. Have a nice day. I've got other things to worry about. Making a movie called Doll Breaker. Why, yes I am. Why a movie? Because I've never made one before. What does this media add to your expression that you wouldn't have with a novel? Well, for one thing, I do have a bit of myself that likes to be very visual. And by making it a movie and not a book, I feel really hands-on. I am hands-on. I mean, I'm in the damn thing. And I get to learn about editing and about lighting, and not, you know, I get to broaden myself beyond a story arc. You know, the nuances of film. But at the same time, it's challenging because, like in a novel, you can go in and tell everyone what the character is thinking. Well, the only way to do that in a movie is voiceover. If you have too many voiceovers, people are going to go to sleep. What are your plans for Doll Breaker? My plans for Doll Breaker is to eventually finish the thing. That would kind of help. And then try and make it as best a first attempt at a film production that I can. And then I will be using my little DVD of it as kind of a storyboard to get someone else with a bigger budget interested in remaking it so that it is a really good movie and not, you know, a home movie taken by a psychopath. Okay, well, I've rambled on enough, answered all my little questions, and I feel really uncomfortable, so I'm going to go and take a shower. Bye!